Hello, Gemini. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here. Okay, Gemini, so looking at your second week of December, you pulled compassion, innocence, and black flower fragrance. Boy. So, compassion. This one's interesting because it talks about somebody coming through having compassion for you that you wouldn't expect. And innocence is saying that you need to look at this situation through the eyes of innocence without any kind of like preconceived notions or conceptions, right? But black flower fragrance, there is an anger behind this over how you have been treated or have been made to feel about you. This very much talks about how even if you feel ugly inside, you still have the right to exist. And things have been so unfair that it has made you fall into these patterns of looking at everything from a very harsh view. And that may be where innocence is coming through. So compassion, it's not just about, having compassion for yourself and for others, but it's having unexpected compassion come through. But it may be coming from a place where you don't expect it because they may be the people or the person involved in making you feel ugly inside, if that makes sense. So, innocence. It says the presence of this card directs you to look through the lens of innocence, either to see yourself or a situation where judgment, guilt, or blame may be present. It says the long shadow of these feelings, either to self or another, serves no useful purpose. And it talks about the importance of remembering the message of the card, right? Like there's no sense in continuing to carry that kind of shame or guilt or blame. This may be somebody coming through even apologizing to you. But this one of my favorite cards from this deck, it says the world is unfair. Fuck off, dear world, fuck you. And the sentence says, if we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop at the evening, but embrace the night. It says, if you cannot shine because you are beautiful, then shine even if you are ugly. Shine because you are ugly. Gorgeously black, ugly as love, worn out as an angel, cheap as a crown, unconquered as a fragrance in the night. There may be a lot of anger or resentment that is going on within you over the way that you have been treated. And you may have a chance now to see things from a very innocent perspective. And that may allow for, this compassion and understanding to come through, not just on your part, but for whoever is seeking, your understanding. Like, I feel like an apology may be coming through. And I feel like somebody really is beginning to understand how they affected you, but the feeling that I'm getting from it is the only reason why is because things have become difficult for them. And I say that because black flower coming through. That is the stage of anger where we hit that breaking point. But is it benefiting you to continue to feel that way, though? And is that the reason why there's a need to look at it from a more innocent and honest perspective? But I don't know. It's just a feeling that I'm getting from it. But what I can tell you is that if you are holding resentment over the way that you have been treated by another person, you're just asking for that to come back to you, right? But there's still very much this feeling like the reason why somebody may be seeking your compassion and understanding is because things aren't going right for them. Now, that's not going to be for everybody, but I have to speak to it, right? It's what's sitting in my gut. The Three of Wands is your overall. This to me feels like this openness to what else is available to you. It's expanding your awareness to other pathways that can be taken. It's also actively waiting. So you may be expecting something to come through, that, or you're looking at different horizons, different pathways, other things that are available to you right now. Now, in the past, the Hangman, so if you are waiting for something to happen or to come in, the Hangman would be suggesting that in the past there was, this kind of like stall, things not really moving forward, you kind of being in the limbo state. This could be a change of perception, though, too, because of things kind of being put on hold that may open you up to seeing something else being available to you. Very nice. So in the present, the Four of Wands, right? So there's a new foundation being built here, new stability, something we're celebrating, and we're happy. We're happy about this. And if this is what you're experiencing in the present moment after like a long period of like stagnation, it may be that finally getting to this place opens the door for something else that you've been wanting. But I still feel like there's this expectation of something coming in. But, with the Hangman though, right? Like, things aren't moving, things aren't going anywhere. And yeah, your perception may have changed because of nothing really happening. And you may be shifting your focus to, something else coming in. But I also feel like here there's still a part of you that may still be waiting for something that didn't come through in the past that you were expecting. But either way, the Four of Wands in the present, perfect energy. The Seven of Pentacles, see, this is what I'm talking about. Here we're reevaluating. You're looking at what you have right now and the work that you put in to get it. And if that's all you're going to get, then is it time to do something different? Or, can you do this again and see different results? There's the reevaluation of the situation that's going on. There's this beautiful foundation that's being built in the present moment for you, right? And there's this stability to build off of. But it's really about, in future conditions, the results that you're getting, and are they what you wanted? And if they're not, then you may be opening yourself up to something else. And then I also kind of feel like, if this is about you continuing to wait for something very specific, and you may have like worked on trying to change your perception, I still think that you're waiting for it to come through. But if it does, in future conditions, you may be looking at it going, was it really worth it? But either way, the reevaluation is going to open you up to something that is like on the peripheral, it's like you kind of see it, but you don't fully see it, and you haven't really been open to it. But whatever does come through, the results from that, I think, may be changing your perception, because you're like, I'm looking this way. But I think that change in perception is something that you've been dealing with for a while. Your best path to follow, the Knight of Pentacles. So, this isn't something that is going to hurry up and happen. This is you needing to continue the path, no matter how long it takes, which is interesting. Things may be moving slowly, but there is a way to get to the results that you're wanting. And it's like there is a set path, there is a set way of getting there, and you don't want to like veer off of that path, is what I want to say. But it's going to feel like things are like they're dragging out. It's like, hurry up now, right? Like, we want to see something different. Ugh, okay. in your environment, the Seven of Swords, and this is where the new foundation is being built, right? So you could be dealing with a situation with a person who has been purposely like holding off, stalling, or, not making themselves available to you. And this is what you may have been waiting for. Is it really worth it? And I think you're going to reevaluate all of that. And I think you're going to change your focus in your direction. And that's going to have to do with this shit. So the Seven of Swords, the new foundation here with the Four of Wands, this is something we're celebrating because it's a new foundation for you. But it's coming out of this deception, right? Somebody lying, somebody not being honest, somebody not, being truthful about why they want to be connected to you. And I don't know why, but that feels like really important here, because there is a foundation that's being built, but it's meant for something better, right? There's a reason why this situation never moved forward. But I think that, for you, it's needing to see like where this is going before, you kind of like change your direction. But I think you kind of get to a point where you're like, well, if this is all I'm getting out of this, then, what is the point? Now, the other thing I want to say too, with the Knight of Pentacles being your advice and looking at the Three of Wands, you're talking about opening your awareness to other things coming in. With this, there's also the, things may progress slowly and you need to stay on that path. But there's also this, don't drag your own feet. Because if you're looking at a situation that, has been dishonest, deceitful, whatever is going on here, and you're seeing these results and you're like, is it really worth it, right? Like, don't drag your feet and shifting your perception. Because you may have been like hanging here with this kind of garbage for a minute. But, this is happening now to build a better foundation for you, where there is stability and there isn't this like guessing, what somebody else wants or what they're doing. You know what I mean? I feel like this is for those of you who need to focus your attention off of a situation that isn't giving you any kind of, reassurance on long term and where, the plans are going in the future. Your hopes and your fears, the Sun, right? Wanting new life and wanting it to have a more joyous experience. Not wanting to be drained by situations like this anymore. I feel like for you, it's kind of hitting that point where you're like, it's not even emotional. It's more about, how it's affecting you. What are you getting from it? How much are you having to put in to get what little bit you are getting out? And it's like, I'm done with this. I need a new life. I need new energy to come in because things may have become stagnant, right? With the Hangman coming through. But this is where the positive lies. This is just showing you what you should have already been expecting. But you may have chose to kind of like hang in there just to wait and see. But, you're going to get those results. And with the Seven of Swords, it's not, this is the old stagnant energy. This is not what you're hoping for. Wow, man. And then coming out the High Priestess, damn. This is trusting the intuitive knowing. And no longer going, yeah, but, things could maybe change or things could go this way or that way. No, this is you. Okay, yeah, I see it now, right? And I'm trusting myself in what my intuition has been telling me. But this is also, you have two sides of the same coin when it comes to secrets. The keeping things to yourself because it's your own intuition, your own intuitive knowing and feelings, and trusting that. And then the opposite side of it where there's the keeping the secrets because we don't want people to know. We don't want somebody to know, what our plans are, or, how we're really feeling. But it's all deception. And here it's more of a honest, open, universal knowing and understanding and being tapped into that. So I'm seeing like two extremes, what you're experiencing on the outside and what it's causing to happen within you on the inside. But, we could be talking about you kind of keeping things to yourself in a very different way than how you've been treated by others. Like, I don't need to tell you about what I'm looking forward to or what I'm putting my time and effort into, right? It's not any of your business anymore. But this, I feel like, is also a learning lesson that I think is going to stick with you for a long time to come. And it's that kind of knowing that when you deal with situations like this again in the future, you're going to be able to immediately pick up on it. The Four of Cups, I'm tired of it, right? The Moon, yeah. And then the Five of Wands, right? But the thing is with the High Priestess, you're not getting involved with that kind of conflict. And you know where this is coming from, but I think that it's intentionally to try to get you to open up, where I don't think that someone understands that you're not privy to that information anymore. Your own deceptive actions have dictated that. Why do I need to let you into my inner world? You no longer affect me, is what I feel like. But with the Four of Cups, right, we're losing interest. And there's this apathy, and then there's this understanding that, there is no new beginning that's coming out of this. It's not that you're not seeing the Ace of Cups. It's that the Ace of Cups that was given to you was a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? But clearly for a while here, there's this feeling of just like losing any kind of emotional attachment to this, to either this person or this situation. But there is deception in why they would want to be a part of the new foundation that's being built for you. With the Moon here, we're talking about things not being clear. There's this confusion going on, right? It's not just about the fears coming out, but this is like needing to look in those darker places to, start to see things more clearly. And these are areas that you may have been like suppressing because of how you've been feeling about this situation that just isn't moving anywhere. Now, the other part of this is, somebody intentionally trying to confuse or like cover up. It's the wolf in sheep's clothing with the Seven of Swords, right? And then you have the Five of Wands, and it's like, you're not even clear about why you're doing what you're doing anymore. Why are you trying to pull me into this? You understand, you see, you're not getting involved. I don't think that that's going to affect you, but there's going to be an attempt to get you involved in some kind of conflict that's just nonsense. Because it's coming from a place of, confusion, not having any kind of clarity, but that's what you're wanting here. That's what you're hoping for. But it's so that you can have new life, new experience, no longer be drained by situations like this. So, I think that for some of you, you may have been in a place where, there was a lot of apathy. And I don't want to say self-loathing, but more of this like being down on, yourself, because there's nothing really happening here. And you're not getting a whole lot of clarity and understanding. But when you open up your awareness to other things, I think that that's where, trusting yourself and trusting what you know to be true is really going to pull you forward. But you have to be willing to, look at this situation and really look at how, you were feeling like things were going to go, because I feel like with the Four of Wands here, when we're talking about like stability, and then you're looking at deception with the Seven of Swords, are you being honest with yourself about anything that you may have been projecting onto a situation that just, was not going to happen, right? Like, how do I say this? I didn't think that they were this way. Like, I saw things differently. But that may be because you were projecting something onto somebody that they weren't even worthy of. But regardless, here we're looking at new life for you, this new foundation. Release, yeah. Mystery. This is like, immediately what I got from this is, because I'm looking at the Seven of Pentacles, like, are you being honest with yourself about what you're seeing from this person, from this situation? And releasing mystery, it's like, just giving up on trying to figure them out or figure the situation out, right? And then abundance, that's beautiful. Okay, so, releasing this situation. And with mystery here, we may be uncovering some things, especially with the moon showing up. But it's all leading to more abundance. And that's abundance in all ways. It's not just, the material abundance. Abundance of life, right? Feeling better about yourself, about the situation you're dealing with. But releasing the need to try to find answers to a situation where things just aren't clear at all. And that's not your doing. Like, I feel like that's because the other person's like super confused. Wow, man. A new romantic cycle begins, and that only happens when you open up your awareness to something so much more different than what you're dealing with, right? Be bold and make the first move. Interesting. So if there is an opportunity for something better in your love life, especially for those of you who are dealing with people who just aren't honest with you and don't feel like they're making any effort to like build a relationship, right? Like, this may be something new completely coming in where you're going to have to make the first move, but you're going to need to let go of this situation. Wow. Now, for others of you, whatever it is that you're dealing with that's been put on hold for a while, the minute you start to reevaluate the situation, that is when you need to immediately trust your intuition and what you're feeling and what you're knowing. Because I guarantee you, your intuitive knowing and your connection to the all is going to tell you that what you are dealing with is temporary, right? And this is not the experience you're supposed to be having. Like, I feel like this is to kick you in the ass to get you to open up to other things that are not fully in your field of awareness just yet.